In this video, we'll look briefly at the lymphatic system. We've encountered it a number of times already. We've encountered it with the digestive system, the lymphatic system. In the digestive system, the topic of lacteals. Lacteals are those finger-like tubes that absorb the products of fat digestion inside the villi. We encountered it with the circulatory system when we dealt with the topic of allergic responses. Because if you get histamines being secreted to dilute some harmful chemical or some pathogen that you're allergic to, and you wind up with swelling, that swelling has to be taken away, swelling has to be reduced, and it's the lymphatic system that drains that away. We also encountered it in the circulatory system as well, but in the topic of storage of memory T cells. So what I'd like to do then is sort of pick this whole topic up again and just sort of tie these things together so that it all makes some sense. The lymphatic system is quite simply a set of venous ducts. Venous. No arterial duct at all. So inside tissue spaces, let's just say this region of the board is a tissue of some sort, there are endings or ducts which end in it. Or more precisely, there's ducts that begin in it. And their role is to absorb excess fluid. There's fluid in all our tissues, and these things will absorb the fluid. We've said it before, we can't afford to lose a lot of fluid all the time, so these things absorb the fluid, and they take it through lymph nodes. Oops, draw it that way. Something like this, or you can have many lymph capillaries, ducts. This would be a duct. The very end would be small enough, we call it a lymphatic capillary. And it takes all of this fluid into a major duct. There are two major ducts in the body. The major duct, they join together eventually, and it goes back to the circulatory system. It's called a venous system because there's nothing pumping it. There's no heart on the other end. There's no reason for this fluid to be drawn. It's simply moved by muscles the same way as fluid is moved in your veins, because here there's also valves. There's little valves in here. So as you carry out your daily movements, body movements, the fluid gets sloshed around and it makes it to the upside of one of these valves, and of course the valve closes and it can't return. So this stuff goes back to the circulatory system in the venous side of the circulatory system right before it goes into the right atrium. So it gets into the right atrium of the heart. These things here, lymph nodes. Lymph nodes store memory T cells. They also store macrophages. Macrophages are those very large phagocytic white blood cells that will take these things apart, and they're known as antigen presenting cells. So if there are things in here which are not supposed to be in your system, so there's pathogens or even dead cells, whatever that comes through the system, the lymph nodes are charged with the role of destroying that. So by the time the lymph gets back to the circulatory system, should it have drawn in some pathogenic things or some viruses, something that is not supposed to be in your system, it would get destroyed there. Thanks again.